Alright, getting ready to tackle the CE panel, the 84928, and weapons of choice are some brass wheels for my cordless Dremel, the Oxid D5 and the G5 cleaning, and then that's supposed to treat it somehow to the G5 is, and the sprouts in case we get hungry. All right, so I have an 84, so I've got the lovely torpedo fuses, and I'm going to just do this, take some pictures, and I've got the diagram. Either way, but just to make sure you know what size fuse goes in what location. I'm going to leave the relays in place for now and do those later. I'm getting ready to head to Texas in the morning, and I don't have time to do anything other than just try and get these fuses cleaned up. I've got all brand new fuses, and then I'm going to take my Dremel tool and go top and bottom on the point of contact, and then spray it down with my Deoxit D5 and then my gold. It's supposed to be some type of enhancement chemical, I guess, that goes on it, and we'll go from there. All right, and if I have time, after I get all these fuses removed, I've never been a fan of the torpedo fuses. Might be easier if I was doing it with one hand. Well, what I'm not doing is spending time figuring out what fuses were bad, what fuses were good. I guess I could do that, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go through, clean them all, put all new in, start fresh, and then also, while I'm under here, I'll take care of these two ground points right here, this one and this one, and get those cleaned up while I'm under here, since I'm right here. I think it's a 10 mil. I think a lot of these are 10 mil. I'll find out for sure though, if I don't correct myself. It's 10 mil. So far, I'd say most of them are pretty tight. I'm not a big genius videographer or anything. I'm just kind of doing this for fun, make the videos and post them, and some of them people have already made, so it'll just be kind of a chronicle for me on what I've done to the car. What I've done to the car. Yep. So there's that, and then I've also been amazed at some of the stuff that I haven't seen videos made for, and so maybe those will be a little more helpful to people. I don't know how helpful it is to see somebody take all these fuses out. All that to say, or where I was leading to with that start of that conversation there with myself, was that hopefully I can at least learn how the support function works on editing videos. That way I can speed up. I got them all, yep. That way I can speed up some of this process. So you don't have to sit there and watch me take 2 minutes to take out all these fuses. Of course, I guess it was only 2 minutes. Had a friend of ours that was a big YouTuber and marketing person, and they were like, you don't want your videos to be more than 15 minutes or you'll lose people. So I don't know if that's right or wrong, but anyway, they are all out. Let's see if I can kind of zoom in. Can't tell for sure if that's any kind of corrosion or if that's just like a silver piece or like coating. See if I can get the upper end. So that's what they look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my deoxit spray, my D5, and I'm just going to try it alone first, and then see how it does, just 'cause I'm curious, and then if not, I'll hit it with my brass wire brush. All right, so there's my deoxit D5. It's a 5-ounce can, and we're gonna spray that down and see what things look like afterwards. I'll just do a few of them just to, so I don't waste it. Get a rag. Of course, I couldn't find a white rag, so I'll have to use a yellow one. I'm just gonna a little bit of crud on there. Let me find a clean spot. Upper. I don't know. I mean, there's some crud wiped off, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the. It'll fit just perfect. So I'm gonna do low speed. Kind of hard to tell for sure. Well, okay, yeah. So there's some that haven't been done. That one, I guess, kind of in the middle compared to the one to the right. So I'm sure it's doing better or doing good. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the rest of them, and the rest you can figure out, I guess, at that point. All right. So it is a 10 mil. Break that loose. So I can get it off. Okay. So I got the first one out, and it's got 1, 2, 3 ring terminals that, yeah, they could be cleaned up. That's not too bad on that, I don't think. But the terminals could be cleaned up, I guess. Let's do that next. Alright, so took the 2 ground points off, cleaned each individual ring terminal. There's like 7 of them all together, I think. Maybe, yeah, 7 I think on this one. 3 on one and 4 on the other. But anyway, in the mounting point and sprayed it down with the deoxit on the D5 and then also the G5 gold, and then tightened them down. Now I'm gonna go and place all these fuses. So I found my diagram. All right, so part of the reason I did this today is because I had to replace my battery. We've had a cold snap here, and it had like 3 volts on it when I came out here today. Even with the tender on it, it had failed. So, and it's only a year-old battery. Anyway, one thing I thought was interesting today that I learned is how much heavier the gel batteries are to the lead acid batteries. Holy moly, it was probably, well, it was significantly heavier than my other one. So anyway, onto these fuses. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I don't have the battery hooked up. That's why I'm doing this right now today, is because I took the battery out to go replace it. So I am on 928's RS website. Thank you to them for having this information on here. You can get on here, 1984 fuse and relay chart, and once my driveway Wi-Fi finally kicks in, there we go. So this will tell me what size fuse in each of my fuse locations for my car. And you can see on that previous page, they had just about everybody's every year on there. So you select your year and then you go on here. So mostly 8s, some 16s and some 25s. So I've got brand new fuses. I'm not gonna film myself putting the fuses in. I'm sure everybody here is capable of putting one of these torpedo fuses in. Sometimes you're just a pain in the butt and getting them in right, and not having them fling out on you or drop them. So I'll save you the embarrassment of that for me. And I will go ahead and get all the fuses put in according to this chart, and we'll go from there. All right, well, I've got 8 in so far. It's taken me about, I don't know, maybe a half hour to get the 8 in. It's been a while since I messed with torpedo fuses, and they're every bit of a pain in the butt as I thought they remembered them being for my 911s. Actually, even more so, because at least in the 911, it was underneath the front bonnet or hood, and you could get in there and actually reach it. This is a lesson in ergonomics on this one. Maybe yoga poses. 928 fuse change pose is a new yoga move. So yeah, I got a couple things I was just gonna point out, which I knew ahead of time when I did, but order extra. I ordered twice as many fuses as I needed for the panel, that I knew that I had slots for each size. Because inevitably what happens is when you're trying to put them in and you get kind of twisted up, you can actually twist the metal off of the tap, or off the top or end cap, whatever you want to call it. It is useless, so you got to be careful. But it's I mean, they'll have a tight fit, but they are a pain in the butt to get in there. So give yourself plenty of time. Make sure you got plenty of extra fuses, and make sure you stretch out before you try and do it. Okay, got all the fuses in. I left the 2 spares out. I'll probably put something in there at some point just to have a spare down here. Maybe not. I mean, I'll just leave them up in the glove box. But anyway. Oh man, I love torpedo fuses. You know, it's crazy because sometimes they'll just like pop right in, no problem at all. And then other times you go through 2 or 3 where you've ripped the metal tabs trying to get the stupid thing in there and get it situated right. I guess the good news, or the good point of that, is it's a very tight connection. So it should have good continuity through the fuse. And I'm gonna hook the battery up and start it up and see if anything's fixed. I've got those 2 ground points up there cleaned and lubed and back together, and fuses are all cleaned and swapped in with new, and we'll go from there. Well, all right. Fuses are done, and I got the battery back in. I'm gonna have to redo the positive cable it's a mess back there, but I was able to get that back in, at least for now, and my dome light's on, so that's a plus. So one of the fuses was bad. Anyway, so before I was getting gauge deflection and I was not getting any lights on the dash as far as like the warning lights when you turn it to the on position. So let's see if we got any difference there. Nope. So I've got the key in the on position and I still don't get any kind of warning lights on the dash. Let's see if it'll start. Alright, it starts and the gauges are working. Not sure what the speedometer cable or speedometer is doing. But, so that's a plus. I was getting that weird, like my gauges were all like click, click, click in a relay down